Fight and Talk back again, and today I'm joined by a dejected Pacino Ellenor. Just days after his main event, Bellator Dublin bout against James Gallagher was pulled due to James Gallagher sustaining an injury to his back. Cal, firstly, thank you very much for your time today. I mean, how are you feeling? It's the second time this fight's been pulled. You know, yeah, just tell us, like, you know, it's a hard one, I'm presuming, to take.
Yeah, definitely. Like, obviously, the whole situation with his injury and stuff like that, like, and then not getting a replacement was obviously, it's a nightmare. You know what I mean? My weight was perfect. Everything was on track. I was super fit. Camp was going great. I felt I was in the best shape I'd ever been in. As far as injuries go and stuff like that, like, I was literally, everything was going right. So to not be able to fight anyone, you know what I mean? I didn't even care who the fight was or what weight. I would have been happy to change weight or not cut as much weight and just fight out whatever I was wanting around. That would have been fine as well. Or even to be moved down the card or something like that, you know, just to still get a fight. I would have been happy to do that, but obviously I can understand why Bellator didn't put us on the card still, and they're talking about us fighting at a later date and stuff, so that's cool, but it was just a shame, you know what I mean, to not be able to, especially for like everyone who was coming over to watch us fighting, family. I mean, I paid for extra flights myself, or like extra coaches, so to not be able to fight and show how hard I'd worked and how much I'd improved was a shame. But I can understand Bellator's logic and not getting us back on the card and stuff like that. So it is what it is. I feel like James dodged a bullet. You know what I mean? I feel like he really did. I feel like anytime I fight him, it doesn't matter when it is, he's going to get it anyway. So I'm just looking forward to getting in there and finally getting to fight him. So we'll see, you know what I mean. But hopefully the contract gets sorted soon and we get matched up again soon, because I know I can beat him, and I just want to hurry up and get it done.
You mentioned that as well, of course. Like, the fight camp was going perfect. Bellator looking to rematch you. Are you slightly aggrieved at the fact that they didn't rematch you? I mean, your teammate Ryan Scope had to pull out due to injury in the rematch. Paul Redmond straight away. You look at the first Bellator Dublin, the first time you and James were meant to meet, they managed to rematch James. Then later on, the Bellator London card, MVP's initial opponent pulled out, they managed to rematch him. This is the first time that they've pulled the main event. I mean, I know there's things that you can't discuss at the minute, but are you slightly aggrieved at the fact that they haven't tried to rematch it?
At first I was. At first I was a bit gutted, because obviously, just for the sake of me support, that was and like, obviously, like, I'd done the camp and stuff like that, and I wanted to fight. I always want to fight, you know. Like, I've had it's been a tough year, considering I haven't fought since February last year. So all I wanted to do was just get a run at it anyway. But obviously, in speaking to Bellator and speaking to Jude and speaking to Mike Hogan, I understand the kind of what the situation is to why I'm not. So once that was cleared up, I was kind of like, you know what, like, I'm just going to use it as more of a head start for this camp. It's going to work out even worse for James. He should have just took the beat, and he was going to get there and just handle it like a man. You know what I mean? I feel like he's pulled because he wasn't ready. Like he said, he had a bad back, but then if you watch the same day or the day after, he's driving around in his Merc, giving it the big licks, you know what I mean, and he's completely fine. So he can say what he wants, but he's just prolonging what's going to happen. He's going to get it regardless when it is, and I'm looking forward to bashing him. I really am. He said all that stuff about me before, and then to pull out for having a bad back is just ridiculous. So all that it is it's just another head start on another camp. You know, my weight's good. I'm already fit, so it's just however long, you know what I mean. If they get the fight sorted again, I'm just straight. But there's no rest now, you know what I mean. Like last time, I took a bit of time off and then got back in camp. This time, I'm just going to stay ready, and he can get it whenever he wants it, you know. So I'm looking forward to that. So hopefully they sort of contract out soon, and we can get it lined back up. And that's it. I just want to hurry up and get it done, you know what I mean.
So no doubt you want that sort of rematch with James. Well, I say rematch. You actually want the match to get there. I know a lot of people have almost been comparing it to the Khabib Tony Ferguson, the Bellator Europe's answer. You telling us now that the camp was going well, everything was going well. If you and James do end up meeting in the cage, how do you see the fight playing out? And I guess, what do you make of Jimmy's injury? I don't know if you've reached out to him, I don't know if you spoke to him, but sort of where we at with that? I know when your initial scan came back, James reached out to you and spoke to you. Has it been reciprocated, or where we at with that?
No, he hasn't. There's been no talk at all. He said he had a bad back. I was told he had a broken foot. So it is what it is. But I say the fight playing out. I hope he tries to fight me the way he fought Ricky. Come out all aggressive against Ricky. If he does that against me, it's going to be a short night, and I'll put his lights out 100%. And there's no doubt in my mind about that. If he comes out aggressive the way he fought Ricky, fighting me, it's his own funeral. You know what I mean? I will put him away. So let's see. You know what I mean? Like if he comes out and shoots straight away, we'll say that. I feel like I can contest with him anywhere the fight goes. I feel like if he does manage to take us down, which I doubt, I feel like I've got answers for him on the floor. I feel like he really disregards my skill level. I feel like he thinks I'm a lot of an easier fight. Well, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe that's just a front that he's putting on, because really deep down, you know what I mean, he for whatever reason we're not fighting. So hopefully the fight does happen, you know what I mean, and he will see the level I'm at. I feel like he doesn't want the kind of fight that I bring, and there's no way he can get away from that. Like he can say what he wants about me or the people I've fought or whatever, but if he had to have the same route I've had, no one would even know his name. If he'd had to build himself up the way I've had to build myself up, the world wouldn't know who James Gallagher is. It's because of what Jimmy comes from and who he's friends with and who his training partners are. And that's the reason he's where he is today. If he'd had to have tough fights coming through, he would be irrelevant now. So it'll show in the fight. He's good. I'm not saying he's not good. He's definitely good. You know what I mean? But he's not what he believes he is, and he's not what he makes out. And I'm going to expose him. And when the fight happens, if it does happen, if he ever does sign on the dot and he does get in there, then I'll prove that I'm as good as I say I am, and that I belong where I should. In these kind of fights, I belong at the top. And if I do, and if the fight does happen and I do put him away, it'll be more beneficial for Bellator if I do, because I'm not going to ever say no to a fight. If he beats me, you'll see a certain kind of fight onwards from there. Whereas you'll not get that from me. I'll literally, any single bantamweight in the world, there's not one of them I'll say no to fighting. There's not, and regardless who it is or where it is, I'll sign on the dotted line and I'll get in there and fight. Beating James will give me the opportunity to get these big names, and that's all I want. I'm not shy of any challenge at all, and I'll never say no to a fight. So smash James, and that's what's going to come. Big fights, 100%.
Cal, I know something else I want to address as well. We spoke the night the fight was pulled. I caught up with you, and you're not necessarily worried about it, but the credibility of this fight. And it's the second time now it's been pulled. It's the second time a lot of your fans have spent a lot of money going out to Dublin. I know you sort of want to address that and sort of talk to the fans about that.
Yeah, obviously, like as I said, both times have been an absolute nightmare, and both times have been out of my control. It's one of them things, you know. It's like regardless if this fight happens or it doesn't happen, I'm going to have a fight soon, regardless. And the Bellator have given us a date, and that's all I'm focused on. I'm not thinking of anybody's names in my head. We know who it's going to be, but I'm not bothered about the name at all. The date's all I'm thinking about. So anyone who supported us in the past, just still stay on board. You know what I mean? And it will happen, and I will get to where I'm going to see it, where I'm saying I'm going to get, and it's just sticking by us. That's the main thing, you know what I mean? I mean, the people who are behind us anyway, I've got loyal support, you know what I mean? A good solid base around us. So it's one of them things, you know what I mean? It will pay off in the end, and I really appreciate the support and continued support, you know what I mean? After everything I've been through, they're still there. And it's still growing as well. I get messages all the time of people being supportive, and just it'll pay off, you know what I mean? And I will get to do it for them, you know what I mean? I will get to put it on the line and actually show them how much it means to us, and how much just getting behind this means to us. It's a massive thing for me, and to have people like that supporting us is what makes us want to get up in the morning and train and work hard, because that's what all I care about now. It's just just building what I've started, and that's why if I beat this, get this fight back and beat James or whoever it is, I win another big fight, I'm going to show how much it means to us by just fighting the best people possible and really like riding it till the wheels fall off, you know what I mean? Just pushing to get to the top, and I'll do it for them who support us.
If this Jimmy fight does happen, how do you see it playing out? How do you see the fight going? And ultimately, what do you see the result being?
If it does come about and it does happen, I feel like first round, regardless which way he comes out, I feel like he can be quite tough. You know, he looks quite strong, quite explosive and athletic. But honestly, I feel like anywhere the fight goes, I can beat him. If he comes out dead all like aggressive, the way he fought Ricky, I feel like I'll knock him out 100%. I'll knock him out in the first round. I really do believe that if he comes on steamrolling forward like that, the way he did against Ricky, it'll be an easy night for me. I will literally knock him out with either hand as well. That's what he needs to. He's been knocked out before, and I know how hard I hit. All you need to do is watch one of my fights or watch one of my training sessions. You can see how hard I hit for a 135er, and I feel like I'll sleep him. And if he tries to take us down, I feel like he thinks he's going to take me back and control us straight away. Well, we'll see. I feel like if he takes us down, I'm not going to lie there and play jiu-jitsu like the rest of the guys have. I'm going to try and murder him off my back with elbows, and I'll throw submissions up left, right and centre regardless. So wherever the fight goes, I feel like I beat him. But whichever James turns up, I feel like I'm going to knock him out. I really feel like I'm going to knock him out. And he's already been slept before. He's already tasted that. And when you hit as hard as I do and you're as long and as rangy as I am, if he takes one of my shots on the chin, I can put him away. So we'll see. Yeah, I feel like if he comes in and tries to crotch dive straight away and dive his head into me crotch and tries to hug me hips the whole fight, then I'll just elbow his head off me back for the full fight. I don't care. I can beat him anywhere, and I'll show it. I'm better than him all round, and I've had harder fights. I'm more tested than he is, and I have better training than he does. I want it more than he does, and I'll show it, and I'm going to put him away regardless which way it goes. I'm going to put him away, definitely. So
I know the day the fight was pulled, head of Bellator Europe, Dave Green, gave you a phone call in. I know it's still a fight that Bellator would love to put on. Where do you sort of stand with it? Is it still a fight that you're chasing? Is it still a fight that you're wanting? Or are you looking now to explore sort of different avenues?
No, it's definitely a fight that I want. You know, that's 2 training camps now I've had for James, and I know he wants to fight me. I want to fight him. There's already a story there now. It's already built up. There's already promoted it. It's a fight that most people invested in the story want to see. You know what I mean? It's just a fight that needs to happen once. You know, in regards to this whole Bellator Europe thing, we're both at the same kind of stage now, where it's like the winner of us can go on to these bigger stages. You know what I mean? I mean, he's had a couple of main events now, but look at the guys he fought in them. Stephen Graham, I'd never heard of him. And who was the other guy? Roman Salazar, who's another person who had a couple of fights in the UFC, and that's how they were marketing him. But like, who was he? You know, like I don't know. So I feel like it's a fight that needs to happen. So hopefully Bellator do put it back together and they give us it on wherever it is. I don't care. I'll fight him anywhere, any time, anywhere on the card. Main event, co-main event, first fight on the prelims. I don't give a shit. Honestly, like, it doesn't matter to me. I know where I'm headed. So here's just another step on the ladder. I feel like line it up. If that's the fight they want to make, let's do it. And this is the fight that needs to happen. But if not, give us someone else. I'm not bothered. I just want to fight whoever. And if James is next on the list, then perfect. I'll put him away, 100%.
Carl, I know when I spoke to you that night, you have a feeling that you don't think Jimmy wants this fight. What made you think that?
I just feel like I'm too much man for him, really. I feel like he knows the kind of fight that I'm going to bring, and he knows I'm coming, and he knows that I'm dangerous. He can say whatever he wants about me, but deep down, he knows that I'm coming for him. He knows that he knows fine well that I'm not coming in there to have a fancy pants cuddly fight like the types he's had in the past. I'm coming to cause some serious damage. You know what I mean? I want to leave him going out to this fight thinking I never want to have another fight like that in my life. You know what I mean? I know that's the kind of fight I can bring. Like, look at any fight. I mean, you know what I mean? It's always going to be a bit of a bloodbath. You know what I mean? So I want him leaving the fight with me feeling like, you know, he doesn't want a night like that again, and that's what I'm going to bring. So if he does sign it and it happens again, that's exactly what's going to happen. He's going to leave there thinking he never wants to have another fight like that again. I'm too much man for him. I'm too big. I'm too strong, and he's going to find out. You know what I mean? He can see what he wants about my skill level. See, I'm a low level grappler with high level tricks or whatever contradiction he wants to see, but he's going to find out soon enough. Whether it happens soon or happens whenever, the fight will happen eventually one day, and he's going to find out that I am that good. So,
Carl, we really appreciate you taking time out to sort of talk to us about this and address the whole thing, and we hope to see the match up soon. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.